I've made a wood katana. Today's short video. Not so long ago, I decided to make a wood katana for Kakashi Cosplay while he was in the Anbu, and I've made it for about $5 or so, and it should be as simple as possible to be replicated at home, and maybe like a day should be enough to make it. To start a project, the first thing that you want to think about will be the proportions about the weapon that you want to build and the character that you want to be. So that should be the part when you decide how big your katana will be depending on your height, because you want to keep it nice and realistic. So what I thought next was, how should I do it? What material should I use? What techniques? So you can always watch some YouTube videos, some tutorials, get some inspiration, and when you're done, we go to the next step. Third thing should be materials. What you want to do, not something expensive you buy from the shop. Just use your already lined supplies in your house, like coloring in a brush, maybe a spray if you want, a glue for the wood, sandpaper, and a knife, and that should be it. Like how I made it, the process is pretty simple. I bought some wood and I found this shape for around $2 in my local shop, and I bought 2 of those. Or you can use just a bunch of wood that I found in my garage that I just glued together, and now I can shape into the katana. You can also use just a big chunk of wood like this one that you can shape with a knife and the same paper, but you should consider it because it's a bit harder to do it. This shape, you're just gonna glue those 2, and you already have almost the right shape. You just gotta send one to be flat and the other one to be the edge. And to make it simple, I just made the sword from the 2 profiles, glued them together, waited like maybe one night, then started sanding, and all you just need to do is make a little pattern of the edge, then just sand it. And after you're done with the sword, you want to do the cover of the sword. So I just laid it on the same profile, just a little bit bigger. You just lay it down and you see how much space you have to work with. Then you glue some pieces in between and the cover is done. For the coloring, I used some reference from the anime itself, Naruto, and I used coloring like those and some sprays that were already cheap and I already have in my house. So I just painted and then decided to add some details, like there's some blood and maybe some battle damage. Nothing, I didn't do a great job of it, but if you like have some distance, it actually doesn't look that bad. And considering that in the cosplay events normally when you're on the stage, there is at least a few meters from the judging people. So actually how I shaped the blade with a knife. I really did it with a knife. The wood is so soft, you can just shape it roughly, and then you use some sandpaper just to finish it and make it smooth, so it can look, more about like a sword. After all, it's a wood and it's a cosplay, so you don't need anything too sharp, because it's wood, you don't want to break it just for nothing. So about the details, you can add always more details. It's gonna be more realistic and it's gonna be more enjoyable. I watched a few videos of how to make this pattern on the katanas, but I used an old t-shirt, okay? It's not the same thing that you can use for a real handle. So I tried to make it, and then because I didn't make it that good, I used just some painting to cover it. and used red because of the showering gun, so it can, be a better reference. A white t-shirt for the this part, and of course here, and it just looks not that bad. If I have to give you an advice, always spend as much time as you can about detailing. That is the best part you can do. So the blade, I made it for maybe a day or two, depending on the glue you use, because I glued my pieces and started working only a few hours later because I was too impatient to wait. And the profiles I got there already so good, so I didn't need to do much shaping. And that's all. That should be it. See you next time.